Hey everybody, Snooplax here. I just want to thank you guys so much for 20,000 subscribers. That number just seems like ridiculous to me, and I really appreciate all the support on the channel lately. I've been thinking for a while about what to do for a 20,000 sub special, and I thought, you know what? I want to showcase my entire Nintendo collection from NES to Nintendo 64. So starting off, NES was the first console that I had. I have a ton of fond memories with it. It's probably the coolest thing I have for the NES is my NES Lamp right here. This is very cool. As you can see, the lamp works. The NES works and everything too. Like, these are actual NES controllers. If I were to plug this in, I could turn it on and play games while the lamp's going. A friend actually made it for me for my birthday and did a really good job. As you can see, I have like the sprite of Mario right there, and it is very cool. NES action set in box. This is the NES I had growing up. As a kid, I saw tons of people modding their NESs and painting it, so I ended up painting this one silver. And if you look at the top, I kind of did this kind of bubbly design so you could see which cartridge was in. And this bubbly design kind of came from the game Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble was definitely one of my favorite games growing up, and I honestly took like a circular drill and just drilled all over to get like these circles. There are some great trilogies for the NES. Mario 1, 2, and 3. Our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, 2, and 3. I got a lot of the old Angry Video Game Nerd NES games, because I'm a huge fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd. I was actually in an episode one time. I made a video about that for the 10,000 subscribers special. So games like Viable Adventures and Fester's Quest, and like A Nightmare on Elm Street. I always thought it was fun playing the games that the nerd played to see if they were like as bad as they were. I collected NES games for a while. I probably haven't bought a game in at least like 7-8 years. Next is the Super Nintendo. And my Super Nintendo collection is definitely lacking compared to my NES and Nintendo 64. I didn't grow up with a Super Nintendo. I got my Super Nintendo probably when I was about 17. I actually got a Super Nintendo, 2 controllers, and a bunch of games for $5. Yeah. I was looking at some online ads and I saw a Super Nintendo with like all these games, 2 controllers for $5. And I responded within like 5 minutes of them posting, drove over there, and probably the best deal I ever got in my life. And then I bought my second Super Nintendo probably about a year later, which is this one, the mini Super Nintendo. That one wasn't as good as a deal. I think I spent $60 on it, but I think that one came with Super Mario All-Stars, which is a great game, and a couple other good ones too. But for the small collection that I have, I'm happy with some of the games I got. I got 2 of the Donkey Kong Countries, Turtles in Time, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, so overall I'm pretty happy with my Super Nintendo collection. And I guess Super Nintendo games, I didn't really play much Donkey Kong Country. The main one I played, I guess, would have been Super Mario World. And Zombies Ate My Neighbors is definitely a great game too. Alright, and now on to my Nintendo 64 collection. This is probably like my favorite collection of the bunch. And it used to be a lot better. I used to have a lot more Nintendo 64 games, but I ended up selling a bunch of them probably about 8 years ago. I used to have all the Mario parties and like Conker's Bad Fur Day. But it just got to the point where they were selling probably at about 5 times the price what I initially bought them for. And I just thought I would have preferred the cash at the time. So when it comes to my regular just cartridges, I sold most of my good ones. I still have some decent ones like Donkey Kong 64, Pokemon Stadium. Obviously this EverDrive is the best cartridge I have because it can play any game and all the ROM hacks. Like, EverDrives are just amazing. I actually went and imported a bunch of games from Japan. This was probably 5 years ago already. And most of these games are super cheap. Like, for instance, Mario Party 3 and Mario Party 2 in box were, I want to say, like $15 each. And even if you look at like the artwork, I think the artwork looks a lot better in the Japanese version. Getting Donkey Kong 64, this one actually has something really cool inside. Look inside, and I mean, these Japanese games are all like almost in like mint condition. It has these 2 cards here. You got Lanky and Tiny, like holographic cards still in the packaging. Honestly, I've never even seen these online before, but I've always thought these were really cool. I don't know, games from Japan just have such cooler box art. You can get them really cheap. I'll probably import more games from Japan in the future. And then I got like Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie from Japan. One game I really want to get would be like Majora's Mask, the Japanese version. Yeah, and then I got my controller collection over here. Got like both of the Pikachu controllers, the orange and the blue, like how they're yellow on the side. I got these two. This one is Japanese exclusive. This one's Europe and Japan, and I really like these. One day I'd like to get every controller. I only need probably 6 more-ish, and I'll have most of them, other than the crazy expensive ones like the E3 controllers. Then I have these 3 Nintendo 64s. This orange one is my go-to. This is one I use in my videos, and this one right here, I guess my secondary one. I put these band-aids on. They're like Nintendo band-aids with like Goombas, Piranha Plants, and Bullet Bills. And I just find it funny. It's just been through a lot, you know, because it has the band-aids. And this third one, it doesn't work. This expansion pack just crapped out on me. With a new expansion pack, this one should work fine. And yeah, that is pretty much my entire Nintendo collection from NES to Nintendo 64. Originally, I was gonna do my GameCube, Wii U, and Switch games, but I thought I'd go a bit retro and just do the cartridge games that I have. And yeah, thank you guys so much for 20,000 subscribers. Like, that number is just honestly just ludicrous to me. I really appreciate all the support. And thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have a great day.